In a small town where everyone knew each other, there was a breakfast diner famous for its delicious food and warm stories. One morning, as usual, the diner was bustling with the laughter and chatter of familiar regulars. However, today felt different. In one corner of the restaurant, Mr. Lo, an elderly man with white hair and a worn-out leather jacket, sat alone, slowly enjoying his breakfast. He was a regular at this diner, coming every week, always sitting in the same corner, savoring his meal with quiet contentment. But today, he became the target of some teenagers. 3 teens, around 16 years old, gathered around him, laughing and mocking him. One of them grabbed his drink and drank it disrespectfully. Another teased him, telling him he had no more energy. A girl in the group started filming, laughing loudly and asking Mr. Lo to do something for the camera. While the other customers sat in silence, watching, a young waitress, was clearing tables across the room. She couldn't take the mockery any longer. Mai had worked at this diner for a year. She knew the regular customers, and she was particularly fond of Mr. Lo, as he was always patient and never complained. Seeing this scene before her, Mai couldn't stand by anymore. She walked over to the group of teens, her voice strong, not allowing this behavior to continue. "What are you doing? Leave him alone!" Mai shouted. The teens froze, their faces puzzled. One, named Tuan, clicked his tongue and responded, "Come on, we're just having fun." Mai didn't back down. "This is not fun. You're harassing one of our customers. If you don't leave now, I'll call the manager and have you banned from here." But instead of backing off, Tuan laughed and poured water from Mr. Lee's cup onto his lap. The teens burst into laughter, making the atmosphere suffocating. Mai rushed to grab a clean towel and handed it to Mr. Lo. "I'm so sorry for this, sir," Mai said. Mr. Lo gave her a gentle smile and waved it off. "It's fine, kid. Thank you for standing up for me." Before Mai could say anything more, she heard a call from behind. "Mai, in my office, now." Mai's stomach dropped. It was the voice of her manager, Mr. Hung. She had no choice but to go inside. In his office, Mr. Hung stood with his arms crossed, a serious expression on his face. "What were you thinking, Mai?" he asked in a harsh tone. "I was protecting a customer, Mr. Hung." "Those kids were mocking Mr. Lo," Mai replied. But Mr. Hung just sighed. "I understand, but we can't afford to upset the families of these wealthy customers. They come here regularly. If we anger them, we'll lose business. Do you understand?" Mai couldn't believe her ears. "So, you're telling me to ignore it when they bully an elderly man?" she replied, anger rising. Mr. Hung thought for a moment, then said coldly, "You've caused trouble here, Mai. Take off your apron. You're done here." The feeling of shame and disappointment overwhelmed Mai as she removed her apron and placed it on his desk. Without another word, she turned and walked out, her hands shaking as she stepped outside the diner. Mr. Lo was still there, watching her with a concerned look. "What happened?" he asked. Mai forced a small smile, her eyes burning with unshed tears. "I got fired." Mr. Lee's jaw tightened, but before he could respond, Mai gave him an apologetic look and said, "It's okay. I'll figure something out." She walked out of the diner, the cold air hitting her face as the door shut behind her. Little did she know, in less than 2 hours, her life was about to change forever. A turn of fate. Mai sat in her car, gripping the steering wheel, still shaken. Fired, just like that, for doing the right thing. The unfairness of it all burned inside her. She wiped her eyes, took a deep breath, and tried to calm herself. She needed to figure out what to do next. Bills were due, rent was coming up, and she couldn't afford to be jobless. Her phone buzzed with a message from her best friend, Lisa, what happened, Mai? I heard you got fired. Mai replied with a single word, yep. Lisa immediately called her back. No way. I'm coming over right now. Mai sighed. But just then, there was a knock on her car window. She jumped and looked over. It was Mr. Lo, the elderly man she had protected earlier. He smiled warmly, but his eyes were serious. Are you okay, Mai? He asked. Mr. Lo, I'm fine, Mai replied, trying to keep calm. Mr. Lo looked at her for a long moment before suddenly pulling a card from his jacket and handing it to her. If you ever need help, call me. This is my number. Mai looked down at the card. It was plain, just a number written in bold black ink. No name, no title. She frowned. What is this, Mr. Lo? Mr. Lo smiled slightly, his eyes full of understanding. It's a lifeline, Mai. If you ever get in trouble, don't hesitate to call. She watched as he walked away, deep in thought. Mai sat in the car, staring at the number on the card. She sighed. What should I do now? Her phone buzzed again. It was Lisa. Are you seeing this? This is insane. Mai opened the app, and her feed was flooded with a video. It was the one the girl with the blue hair had recorded. It showed everything, Mr. Lo sitting alone, the teens bullying him, and Mai stepping in fearlessly. And then, the moment that had captured the world's attention, Mai being fired after doing the right thing. The caption read, Waitress stands up for elderly veteran, gets fired for it. The comments flooded in, this is disgusting. Who owns this diner? I'll never go there again. She's the role model we need in society. I'll be supporting you, Mai. Keep standing up for what's right. Within 2 hours, the video had over 200,000 views, and the comments kept coming. The story was spreading fast, not just in her small town but across major cities. Mai couldn't believe what she was reading. She had become the center of attention. Then, another notification popped up from an unknown number. Come to the diner. She hesitated. Should she go? Her stomach churned at the thought of facing her former boss, but her curiosity won. She grabbed her keys and rushed out. When Mai arrived at the diner, the sound of motorcycles roared in the distance. She turned to look behind her and saw hundreds of motorcycles heading straight toward the diner. More than 500 bikers arrived, their leather jackets gleaming under the street lights. They were here, not just for her but to make a bold statement about justice. As Mai entered, she saw them all gathered outside, waiting. She could hear the motorcycles roaring outside, like a storm coming. She spotted Mr. Lo at the front of the crowd. His eyes were sparkling in the streetlights as he smiled at her. Come here, Mai, he called softly. They're standing up for you now. It's time for you to stand up for yourself. Mai stood there, overwhelmed by everything. She felt both nervous and proud. For the first time, she didn't feel alone in this fight. These people were here for her, and they were ready to support her in standing for what was right. Bear, a giant of a man, walked forward and extended his hand. We've got your back, kid. No one messes with one of us. The bikers cheered as Mai stepped forward, ready to face her former boss and reclaim her dignity. Then, Mr. Hung stepped outside. His face turned pale as he saw the bikers gathered outside, and he realized that the situation had gotten out of control. Bear stepped forward, his voice booming, "This is the person who stood up for us. You will never disrespect her again." Mr. Hung opened his mouth to say something but was silenced by the sheer force of the bikers' presence. If you don't fix this, your diner is done, Bear declared. Mr. Hung, realizing the gravity of the situation, hesitated, then offered Mai her job back. But Mai didn't respond immediately. Instead, she looked him in the eye and said firmly, "I don't need your job anymore. I've done my part, and I don't need to tolerate your fake respect anymore. What I need is recognition, and today, I got it." Mr. Hung stood speechless, unable to respond. Mai turned and walked away, feeling empowered by the support she had received. The bikers cheered her on as she left, and she knew her life was about to change forever. With the support of the bikers, Mai was ready for a new chapter in her life. Her story, from a waitress to a symbol of courage and justice, would be remembered in the community forever.